North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
We have been entered into all kinds of goddamn treaties that nobody voted for and nobody even knows about.
Yes.
All right. What kind of shit is that? Our leadership is supposed to represent us as a republic, not enslave us and make decisions that our children, grandchildren, and so forth are going to have to deal with.
Look,
fuck off.
Treaties and alliances have always been a part of the human experience. Ever since they figured out that we can make a kingdom here and a kingdom here, but if we team up, we can beat this kingdom over there. Okay, treaties and alliances have always been there.
And how many of them actually in the long run work? I'll wait. Yeah. Okay.
Evil hairless monkeys.
You got it.
So, how much is each NATO country spending on its military in 2024? Of course, you're going to know who's spending the most. The 32 members of the world's most powerful military alliance will spend $1.47 trillion this year, 2024. Of course, all of that's coming from the United States. Oh, look.
Yeah.
Number of allies meeting 2% defense spending. They're expected to spend 2% of their defense budget on NATO, if you're a member of NATO.
Yep.
Just over 2/3 of NATO members, 23 of 32, have fulfilled the 2% commitment. Oh, well, gosh, there's a shock.
Yep.
NATO was founded in 1949 by 12 member states: Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, the United Kingdom, and, of course, the United States of America. NATO is celebrating its 75th anniversary by 12 nations in 2024. The military alliance had grown to 32 members. They're trying to bring Ukraine in. That has not happened yet. With Sweden being the most recent member this year. How much does each NATO member spend? Did you vote to give money to NATO? I mean, we just discussed the UN, but now you're also giving money to NATO.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I don't remember that.
Well, in February, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said in 2024, NATO allies in Europe will invest a combined total of $380 billion in defense. For the first time, this amounts to 2% of their combined GDP. The United States remains the world's largest military spender by far. In dollar terms, the United States represents about 2/3 of NATO countries' annual defense spending at an estimated $967 billion. I'll bet you could build a fucking wall with that.
Yeah, we need to. This is a bad deal all the way around, and we need to get the hell out of it. All right. I mean, we are getting, we're getting played.
Yeah,
we're getting played, man.
Yeah,
this is the numbers are here. Anyone can find these numbers. This is open source information,
all of it,
and nobody gives a goddamn shit about it. This is insane.
Yeah.
I hope if Trump can get in office, I hope he just cuts the fucking cord on these people. Yeah. I mean, how much is Germany spending?
Well, we'll find out here in a minute.
All right.
But I can tell you right now that 3.4% of your economy goes into NATO. This is all going to lead up to a point a little later on in the show where you're all going to shit yourself and get really angry. And then over time, I'm going to tell you some other stuff too. Not on this show, but later on.
Cannot wait.
I want to get you really spun the fuck up, though. Because
that's fun.
There will be things. The next 4 top spenders in dollar terms are Germany.
Mm-hmm.
How much do we spend?
What, 96 billion or something?
967 billion.
Wow, almost $1 trillion.
So the next 4 top spenders are Germany at 97 billion. Well, 98 billion, which is how much of a percentage of basically 970?
It's 10 to 11%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The UK spends 82 billion, France 64 billion, and Poland 34 billion. The infographic below shows the ratio of NATO's military spending by the US compared to all other NATO members. All other NATO members
Wow.
is the purple across the top of that graph there. See the graph there?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Below that is the US.
We need
We're shelling out for all of that.
And what are we getting in return? Oh, that's right. We're getting nothing.
Yeah, we are dead soldiers.
Yeah, we're sending our
How many of our fucking brothers come back in bags in NATO missions?
Yeah, I mean, this is bullshit. And a lot of these countries are using our old military equipment that we gave them.
Yeah.
For what's that called when we just give money to other countries for no apparent reason?
Foreign assistance.
Yes, it's basically
we give them the equipment, and then we give them money too. We give them the money to buy the equipment.
So we give them the money in foreign assistance that they could spend on NATO. I mean, it's such a goddamn three-shell Monty fraud.
Yeah,
this needs to stop.
Mm-hmm. Basically, our country is just being bled dry.
Yes.
Look, I know other countries are paying into this. I don't care. I don't care about other countries. Look, I know we got viewers in other countries out there, but you should care as much about your country as I care about mine. I'm not saying don't care about your country. I'm saying care about your country. I'm over here caring about mine.
America.
Okay, we each unfuck our own backyard first.
Correct.
Okay, that's the goal here. We each unfuck our own backyard, then we can talk. So Poland is spending 4.12% of its GDP, which is admirable, except that only amounts to 34 million. Whereas the U.S. is spending 3.37 or 3.4% of its GDP, and that amounts to $900.
It's almost $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost $1 trillion. And we can't afford this. We're 36 to 38 trillion in debt. If we stop sending money to every country in the world, we stop funding NATO and the UN, shut down the WEF.
Yes.
We can literally pay our national debt down quite a bit in a decade. We're not getting anything for it other than drama.
Yeah.
And we're filling body bags with our own people.
Yep.
Fuck off. This is bullshit. And I know people are like, well, Pop's a warmonger. He doesn't believe in peace. I believe in peace, but I also fucking believe in war. I've seen both.
Pop and I have both said this. Nobody who has ever been in a battle zone and seen a war wants war. The difference here is if you leave me no choice, expect nothing but war.
Correct.
That's the difference. I'd like the choice. I just want to freaking, I've said this a million times on this show. I just want to be left alone to raise my damn chickens.
Yeah, I know. And
literally all I want.
And in the Ukraine right now, we've got, the dictator-in-chief authorized Ukraine to fire long-range missiles into Russia proper.
Now, let's be realistic. Biden didn't authorize
I know he didn't
to do shit. Guy can barely eat a cupcake without supervision.
Correct.
So United States bureaucrats in our government authorized those ATACMs.
If Trump gets in there and he finds out who authorized that, they should be tried for sedition or treason.
Heads on pikes.
Yeah. Okay.
Figuratively speaking.
Okay. We can't go down the violent road.
That's not going down the violent road. I'm talking about the metaphor of the heads on the pikes.
But the thing is we have a huge bureaucratic monster running this country and has been doing it for about half of a century, and no one's been able to do anything about it.
Yeah.
It needs to be fixed. Otherwise, we're going to wind up with World War III. Hell, let's just go all the way to World War fucking IV.
We're really close to World War III right now because of that ATACMS launch.
Yeah.
And by the way, all 6 of our ATACMS, 5 were shot down and 1 apparently impacted with no real result. So that's our super high-tech ATACMS that the Russian air defense, which is very built up because the Russians actually believe in freaking building up their own military to protect their own soil.
Correct.
So their ADF is, on point. That they have. They have always had ADF in depth.
Well,
Air defense, by the way.
yeah.
ADF.
Listen, if I'm a firm believer in defense in depth and ablative defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and Russia's old school.
Yep.
Ground and pound, and I would expect nothing less from them.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't have anything against the Russians.
No,
I like the
neither do
Russians. I like the Ukrainians. They have hot chicks. The vodka is awesome.
Bulgarian chicks are hot.
Yeah, they're
What?
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I mean, why are we fighting these fucking people? It's so stupid.
Because little weaselly turtleneck and soft loafer wearing chocolate fondue eating faggots in Brussels are telling us that we have to fight them.
Yes, and that's another problem that we need to get to the bottom of. We need to cut the head off the snake. And
Didn't we Declaration of Independence once already? Why are we doing this?
I know, but the thing is we have a world full of billionaires that want to have more power and more money, and are buying our politicians, bribing people to make this shit fucking possible. And listen, we need to put an end to it one way or another.
This is a non-actionable observation on my part.
Okay.
I am shocked that one of those billionaires hasn't met with misfortune in a graphic manner.
Correct.
I'm shocked.
These things happen.
Yep. Again, non-actionable, objective observation. Holy ass baggery, Batman. So this is the GDP expenditures, and it looks like Poland and Estonia spend more, but you have to consider that their GDPs are not all that big. Estonia is a tiny little country, but there's some tough little shits.
Yeah.
The Estonians held their own in World War II, and I mean held their own. You don't hear about any U.S. troops rolling in to save Estonia.
No.
They held their own. Oh, man. So flip over to here. Does that not go up? That doesn't go up. NATO spending by country. You can just see this. These are the NATO countries, and we carry the brunt of it. Germany pays 4% of their GDP by this graphic here, but do they really? I mean, how much of that is really, truly?
Yeah.
How much is that? Minimum required defense spending by NATO countries. Poland is 3.9. We just went over all of these there. Little Estonia, for its size, shells out quite a bit. Top NATO countries with the highest defense expenditures by total U.S. dollars. United States, 860. I'm guessing that's millions of dollars.
This is a lot of money.
Look at this. Where does all of this money go? What net value does any of this have? All of this money, we're looking at these huge freaking numbers here from all of these different countries. What value has been produced by NATO?
All right. This is the value we got for our money. We got invaded by migrants.
Yep.
Germany got invaded by migrants.
That's specifically the United Nations, and I can prove that.
The UK.
We did a show on that. Yep.
Just
Ireland.
I mean, France.
Yeah.
All of Europe has been invaded by immigrants from other countries that, let's be honest, shouldn't be there.
Yep.
That's what you're getting for your money.
Yeah.
You're sending money over there because we want peace and prosperity. And in return, we're getting a wave or an invasion of meat. And we're going to have to spend an insane amount of money deporting those people out of this country.
Human carpet bombs. I've said this a million times. It's the weapon of choice for this war. We are in World War III right now in the West, and the weapon of choice is human carpet bombs. Okay, these people are such economically deprived immigrants that in Springfield, Ohio, where 3,000 Haitians showed up in a town of 6,000, guess what happened a couple of days after Trump won the election?
Murder.
No. All of those Haitians suddenly found it in themselves to go home.
Oh, good. I thought maybe
a whole bunch of them just unasked the AO.
Well, I mean, I was surprised there wasn't a lot more meetings with Murray Dar.
I am surprised also that there were not meat suit ejections galore.
I know.
But what did happen is a bunch of these supposed unfortunates who were seeking better lives suddenly found it in themselves to go, we should probably just go home. Bye.
Yeah, well, if
That's
this,
suspicious.
I'm gonna be
That's suspicious.
honest here.
Yep.
If any of these migrants came here illegally in the past, 4 to 6 years,
Nope. I'm going back 60 years, but go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just saying 4, maybe 6 years. If you knew it was good for you, you would start leaving.
Yeah.
All right.
I would agree. Go.
Because what do you think is going to happen when if they crash this economy and then we have U.S. citizens starving because we gave the money to illegal immigrants? You're going to have a mob rule situation, and historically speaking, those are incredibly ugly, bloody, and it's just a boatload of merciless pain. I don't want to see that, but that's where we're going.
Yep.
We're throwing all of our goddamn money away. We are trusting leaders who are totally goddamn corrupt. And it's about time we figure it the fuck out and handle our business.
Yeah.
I'm getting spun. I can already feel my blood pressure.
I know, man. I hear you. I am doing my best to sit here and do breathing exercises while you rant.
I can't even do the fuck it thing. I love my country.
Yeah.
I have put
I'm in the
everything
exact
on
same
the
boat.
line, and you have too,
Multiple times.
for this country.
Yep.
I have stepped out of a fucking aircraft that was getting shot at in the middle of the fucking night because the man at the top said, "Hey, we got to fucking do it." I'm like, okay, I signed the check. Let's do this.
Oh, that was Panama.
Yeah.
Yes, right. You forgot you guys were taking fire as you were coming in.
Yeah, we had a couple rounds come through the side of the bird. Somebody was yelling. I think he got hit. And I'm going to be honest. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not jumping." And then I saw like 6 feet of fire coming off of one of the engines.
I'm getting out of there.
And I'm like, "Nope, I'm out of here."
Yeah.
And I had to pick up my roommate Christoph and carry his dead ass out the goddamn door.
I'm not doing the carnival ride. You know, at the carnivals where you got the ducks that go by, and you're like, ping, ping. No, I'm not. Not doing the carnival ride.
It was a hail of bullets going through my parachute. You just tracers galore. Why I did not get hit, I do not know. I think it was divine intervention. I'm not going to go into too much
There's
detail.
There's all kinds of stories of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened that night that I told the stories a long time ago, and I'm not going to rehash it because
many stories to be had. Many stories to be had.
Sorry, we went off in the weeds there.
That's all right. That's not a problem. So anyway, did I hit the? Yeah, okay, I did. Good. NATO is resourced through the direct and indirect contributions of its members. Did you hear that? The direct and indirect contributions of its members.
Mm.
So there are bills out there which go into budgets which fund NATO directly.
And then there
are the shell game shit where we're going to put this bill here is for defense expenditures, and by defense expenditures we mean these interests over here, which are actually, and it goes to the NATO.
This is exactly how this works.
We got a whole bunch of these M1 Abram A1s here, and we've got to make room for the new M1 A4s. So why don't we palletize these and send them to fuck all country and let them deal with them, so we can spend yet more money to make more tanks that we don't fucking need. Fuck off. All right.
But sir, they won't be able to pay for those tanks. We send them some money.
We'll write it off. Yeah. We'll send them money that they can send back to us. Thus, the 3 shell Monty.
Yes. We literally send them the money to pay for the military equipment that they buy from us. That's how that works. I've seen that one too.
It's giving by another name.
Through direct and indirect contributions of its members. NATO's common funds are comprised of... Get it. I hate that. I hit the surprise yawn.
I turned the heat down for you.
Thanks. Too much heat makes me sleepy.
Yeah, I know. You're a dwarf.
I am. NATO's common funds are composed of direct contributions to collective budgets and programs, which equate to only 3% of total Allied defense spending. Around 3.8 billion euros for 2024. These funds enable NATO to deliver capabilities and run the entirety of the organization and its military commands. Notice that paragraph right there is just word salad. It doesn't tell you anything about what they actually do. And then there's a whole list of all the contributions and how they go through these things. Some of this is interesting reading if you like this kind of stuff. All of the links are going to be
we're not here to read you word
at the
for
bottom.
word everything.
Yeah, exactly. All of the reports are here. All the common funding resource plans. Everything is here. You can see where all of your money has gone for years and years. Strangely, there's nothing really here that says what NATO does or what benefit it gives to any of its members.
Yeah, I don't.
And on the NATO site.
So wait, you're saying it's a big money pit with no payoff at the end?
Maybe.
It's kind of like marriage today. You can break the contract on half of it and get rewarded for it.
Yeah, but with marriage, you're likely to at least get laid once or twice.
Maybe a kid or two out of it.
You're not even getting a blowjob out of this.
No, in fact, the United States is getting a socket blink job, and if you don't know what that is, that's the comic book speak.
Missile in the exhaust port.
No, that's the meat missile in the eye socket.
Oh,
socket blink job.
Skullfuggery.
Yes, that's what's happening.
You're engaging
to us.
in skullfuggery. Yeah.
Yes. That's what's happening to the United States.
I understand. Where the North Atlantic Council, NATO's top political decision-making body, unanimously decides to engage in an operation or mission, there is no obligation for each and every member to contribute unless it is an Article 5 collective defense operation. What the fuck is wrong with me tonight? In which case, expectations are different. In all cases, NATO as an organization does not have its own armed forces.
Oh, yeah.
So allies commit troops and equipment on a voluntary basis.
Okay.
By this, they mean the United States and sometimes Britain and France.
And this is another thing, is we have so many bases all over the world. Why are we doing this again?
In this age of the ability to project power almost at will, there is no reason for any of our large bases overseas. I could see a listening post here, a radar post there, or an attaché to a foreign government. Okay, this is normal behavior. But these huge bases or operational battalion and regiment-sized elements in foreign countries, or in the case of Japan, Korea, Germany, or I don't know, do we have any left? Where do we have any that size elements left? I think those are the three.
Italy.
That's just a couple of battalions, I think. At Vincenza and
there used to be a big one in Germany. I don't even.
173rd is there. 173rd is there. We have a QRF there for AFRICOM, which was not called up during Benghazi.
Yeah, and okay, that's a whole.
Yeah,
I had Rumor on the show. He was literally in the talk when that was going down. He heard all of the bullshit.
Yeah,
there were colonels getting relieved for cause because they're like, screw it, we're going there anyway.
Yeah, spin up the QRF. I heard all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I could prove in minutes that Hillary Clinton and all the rest knew what was going on in Benghazi within minutes if you could get me into an AFRICOM skiff. I know exactly what files to look in and where they are because that was their job. I was never AFRICOM. I was a different element, but that was literally our job, was that reporting.
Yeah.
So I know that she knew within minutes. And so did everybody on the National Security
She had a
Council
server
and
in her bathroom, which was tapped into by China.
But she said she never heard about any of that stuff.
Yeah, bullshit. All right.
There's no way she didn't know.
Again, we need to start, bringing these people to heel.
Yeah.
I don't care if you did it 20 fucking years ago. Fuck you.
That I know of. There is no statute of limitation on treason.
I don't know.
I have never seen one, and I have looked at the law extensively.
Yeah, and here's another thing about the ambassador who got killed in Benghazi. He was raped
repeatedly
before he was killed. He didn't die of smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
You want to know how I know this? I read the paper in Cairo.
Yes.
And there's a couple other papers in the area that really printed this shit with eyewitness statements in it.
Yes.
And
I saw
literally,
that often when I was overseas.
And we had MSNBC, CNN, and all of the major news media dumb it down to like, oh, he died of smoke inhalation and it's terrible. They were dragging him through the street when he was dead.
Yes.
All right. Again, we're going down a rabbit.
We're rabbit holing this evening.
But I'm getting so spun up because this is all a direct result of the fecklessness of NATO and the UN.
It all ties back to our money being siphoned out of our country.
Correct.
It all ties back to that. That's what enables these people to do all of these things, is the money being siphoned out of our country. It drains our power. It's like a freaking D&D energy drain spell.
Yeah.
Basically.
And we've had, 7 failed audits?
Yeah.
And they do an audit every 2 to 3 years?
Yes.
All right. So that goes back to, I would say all the way to 9/11 because they just failed the first audit just before the towers fell. I wonder why that happened.
I think that was planned well beforehand. You don't plan a mission of that size overnight.
No, that's a 5-year thing.
Yeah.
That's a 5-year op.
Yeah. That's when I hear people say, oh, it was the money from the Pentagon and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm sorry. That's unfortunately, I happen to know, you happen to know, that's not how an op that size works. It takes a long time to move those pieces.
Yeah. And listen, again, like if I was running the show, I would open all those servers, all those vaults. I would dig till I found the answers of who was involved in that. And I don't care if they're living in an assisted living home. You're going before, a tribunal, and you're going to get what you get.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.